laser radiation is potentially hazardous to eyes and skin.
However, in addition to the beam hazard, there are hazards associated with lasers and laser applications. These non-beam hazards include fire hazards, chemical hazards, electrical hazards, and mechanical hazards.
What kind of fire hazards exist?
High power class 4 lasers may pose a fire hazard in the beam delivery system, by broken fibers, and at the workstation.
Flammable parts must not be irradiated by laser beams. Sparking during laser processing presents another fire hazard. The sparks to start the fire may be generated by material processing or in electrostatic filter systems.
What kind of chemical hazards exist?
Some laser systems contain hazardous materials that are necessary for their operation. In particular, the active media of dye lasers and excimer lasers. Lasers presenting chemical hazards should only be repaired by qualified service personnel. Optics made of zinc selenide and gallium arsenide have a potential risk if they break. The dust of zinc selenide and gallium arsenide is harmful if inhaled.
A special source of chemical hazards is the processed material, laser-generated airborne contaminants. Laser processing of material may pose hazards due to toxic and carcinogenic fume production. Laser-generated aerosols, if inhaled, are small enough to reach the lungs. The concentration of hazardous airborne contaminants should not exceed the threshold limit value, or TLV.
Fume extraction at the target site is generally required to meet the threshold limit values. This is achieved with an appropriate fume evacuator fitted with an appropriate filter unit. Change the filters periodically.
Note that cleaning work at a laser machine can produce air contamination. Personnel should protect themselves from airborne dust by wearing an appropriate respiratory mask and protective clothing.
Most types of lasers transform less than 1% of the electrical input power into light. As a result, most lasers need very powerful electrical supplies.
The CE mark in Europe or the UL mark in the American market on a laser product confirms the electrical safety of a product with respect to its dedicated use. As long as users do not open the power supply and touch the interior parts, they are not at risk. Only competent service personnel should carry out electrical repairs.
What kind of mechanical hazards exist?
Mechanical hazards can arise from many sources, in particular parts that are moving rapidly under automatic control. For example, robot arms, automatic doors, or workpieces. The hazard zone must be clearly marked and protected against access. Special hazards arise in the use of high-pressure gases in gas tubes or subatmospheric pressure gases within the laser resonator. So, pay attention to the non-beam hazards.